Billboard proves yet again why they are so irrelevant and stays are not happy. So if you were under a rock today, this morning in particular at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, an article online released from Billboard talking about Stray Kids and their trajectories and such. There's a lot to say about this. First and foremost, I want to say to you, listen, if you go to that website, if you go to their article, you are giving them money. Like, this thing is filled with ads. Seriously, it's like you're getting, I feel dirty just looking at this. Like, I feel like I'm gonna get some spyware because of how many ads there are. It's like old internet days. Don't go to their website. Seriously, you're just incentivizing them to continue doing this stuff. There were a lot of interesting bits about this in particular, and I had read it originally and thought, you know, like I didn't feel good about it. And then I went to Twitter and saw your comments, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't just me. And I wasn't gonna necessarily make this video, but then I was like, you know what? I think I should say something, especially as somebody who is, well, who is not a teen and who has many people on this very channel who are also not teens and tweens who love this music as well. But first and foremost, who gives a Who gives a poop if you are a teen or a tween? We're all stays. I don't know. As somebody who is not a teen or a tween, who is not even in their 20s anymore, it just felt like, are you kidding me? Like, I've met so many of you who aren't teens and tweens. I've met a lot of you at the concert in Chicago who were, and many who were not. That's kind of the cool thing about Stray Kids, is that they kind of transcend the generational divides in some regards, right? Like, I'm a millennial and I have Gen Zs? Is that what we call them? Feels too much like the Gen Xers, who I was always rolling my eyes at as a kid. Anyways, we have Gen Zers out here who were also enjoying the same music. It brought us together. I love that. I am always a fan of bringing people together. So I felt like the article in that regard really just dismissed this. I don't know, maybe they just didn't do their homework. Maybe they just kind of looked at the surface, but there's always that assumption a lot of the time with these bigger companies that it's just a bunch of teen girls. It's just a bunch of teen girls. Young girls are the only ones that like this group, or most K-pop. I feel like that's a real problem in these companies and these experts. I did like the fact that they talked about them creating their own music. I like that a lot. That did add to it a little bit. I think the second biggest thing that everybody was kind of upset about is the fact that it was about Hyunjin. They mentioned the so-called bullying incident from a few years ago that he was accused of. Hyunjin did apologize for. I don't know if it was necessarily appropriate. Here's the thing, we all get secondhand information from this, sometimes third-hand information. Like, we have to be honest in saying that, you know, we can never truly know the truth, and that's just the reality. That being said, one, Hyunjin did apologize. However, from what I understand of the situation is that, first and foremost, we all mess up as kids. It's what we're good at, and that's what childhood is for. Now, clearly that doesn't excuse certain things like traumatizing other individuals, murdering other individuals, you know, that kind of stuff, like really, really severe things. From what I've read is that there were fights between both sides. It wasn't just one side, it wasn't just the other side. And Hyunjin did apologize for his own role in that. He took his own time to reflect. He took his hiatus. He did his thing. JYP listened to both sides, evidently. At the end of the day, they both sides kind of hurt each other in that way. And that's not unimportant. Now, that's not to say that one side is more guilty than the other. As I've said many times on this channel, as a mental health professional, you rarely ever see it being 100 or 0% somebody's fault. That's not how things work. Can I give you a definitive answer about how far along, who's more at fault? No, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter. I mean, I just didn't like how they added it in there. Like, it felt like we were talking about this other thing, and then they threw Hyunjin in there, the Hyunjin's thing in there, and I'm like, okay, like, where did this come in? I kind of see their connection in the immature, like, the quote was from Changbin was, "We made music even before our debut. Now in the beginning, there was a lot of feedback compared with now," says Changbin. "We were immature in some aspects. Now, Park trusts us wholeheartedly, the stories we want to tell with our music." And then it goes into the Hyunjin thing, and I'm just like, wait, where did the Hyunjin thing come in? Like, I get that we were talking about immaturity, but it feels like they were just throwing that in there to spark some debate. And that could be what it exactly was, because remember, in content creation, especially with print media anymore, if you're speaking about them, that's all they care about. That's what they want. They want you to talk about them, because if you're not talking about them, that means they're irrelevant. They're trying to spark that relevancy, right? Every content creator is trying to be relevant. And that includes print media, who, quite frankly, they're just not at the top of our minds anymore. I don't get my news from print media. I don't remember the last time I read a magazine. It's probably, I don't know, the 2000s. I didn't even know Billboard had its own magazine. I probably did. I just forgot it. I never read them because, quite frankly, I know that they're very biased. They have been forever, and I listen to punk rock. I never read Billboard's opinion about anything. At the end of the day, they're riding the coattails of Stray Kids. Like, they want to find that relevancy because they see that they're doing so well. And when we visit these websites, when we give them that attention, when we literally pay for the special editions in a very psychologist way, we are fueling that behavior. We are incentivizing that behavior. We're rewarding that behavior. They don't care if we're upset about it. They care that you're visiting the website because of those ads. They care that you're buying the special edition to that magazine because that's generating profit. That's what they're interested in here, guys. So do yourself a favor. Don't go to the spam website, or if you really want to and you're okay with that, go ahead, visit it. Maybe read it for yourself, form your own opinion, and let's chat in the comments, guys. We're gonna chat in the comments. That's the main two things, I think. All right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Let me know let's talk in the comments. Let me know your own thoughts, feelings, opinions down there, and we'll continue the conversation. Thank you guys so much for being here. Do take care, be safe out there, wash your hands. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.